They're both tremendous athletes, both love olives, and both were #1 picks. But that's where comparisons end as the Cavs took care of the Sixers last night, 113-91. LeBron finished with 30 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. Cleveland has now won 8 straight games.
That's interesting.
Here is LeBron James afterwards.
I'm a big believer, and I know, and I always preach it, that it takes time, no matter how good you've been in the past or no, how good the players are or whatever. It takes time for things to get in place, and it took us a little time. We took some tough losses early in the season, but we had to learn each other. We had different lineup changes, different lineup switches, and we just kind of been in a rhythm as of late because we've been pretty consistent. So it just takes time.
Well, to be fair, Nick Wright has been saying exactly what LeBron said. It takes time for the right chemistry. It takes time for these guys to sort of fall into place. So, Cece, I'll start with you. Are you buying now the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have won their last 8 games, are the best team in the East yet again?
Well, if I am going to buy it, that means I'd have to sell something that I bought last week, because Nick and you posed the question to me, are the Boston Celtics the best team in the NBA? Fresh off a win at Golden State. And, of course, like everyone else in the news, yes, they are.
Well, not quite like everyone else in the news.
Well, normal people.
Okay.
People who don't have bipartisan opinions and everything. But after a week, I mean, a lot can change in the NBA, and especially we're still in the early stages. Like, you're starting to get a feel for what teams are going to be like. Boston Celtics are still a good basketball team, even after losing to Detroit last night. But Cleveland, we knew at some point they're going to have to deal with LeBron James. Now, it's not a matter of LeBron, so to speak. It's how good will the supporting cast be around them. So Cleveland, fortunately, with Derrick Rose getting hurt, it's helped this team out. It's helped the overall chemistry. If you look at their bench, if you look at Fry, D-Wade, Corver, and Green, last night they give you 50 points. LeBron starts off the game, and this is the backstory. JR had someone die in his family. So he didn't know if he was going to play before the game. Took the shoot off, so when he came to the arena, they didn't know. So LeBron had to get the team going. It's a big game for them in Philadelphia, and going into the game with them having the same record. But LeBron was sensational. Like, he said, I'm going to put the onus on myself to get the game off. He had 15 points in the first quarter, with not knowing if JR, what kind of state of mind he was going to be in, with the support that he's getting off the bench. I mean, yes, I believe. I mean, Boston does not want to play the Cavs in a series. And it always comes down to this, Jenna. It was the old Michael Jordan rule. Well, which team is better? Well, which team can beat Michael 4 games?
Yeah.
In the East, it's been the same thing for LeBron James. And there's still not a team that can say right now with any type of confidence, you know, we can beat that Cleveland in a series of 7.
Cece, I welcome you, and I'm glad you are joining me on this side of the argument. I know it took you, as you were saying a little bit, it took you a week. You were there with everyone else. The Celtics, they've won 16 in a row. The reality always was, even when the Cavs were, what were they? They're 13 or 12-9. So before the 8-game winning streak, when they were having issues, the questions were, when they're 5-7, I should say, Isaiah's not. No. None of that mattered. They had LeBron, and this is the most amazing part: peak LeBron, not LeBron extending his prime and still at the no. The best LeBron we have ever seen is the LeBron we are seeing right now.
Okay, Nick, now you're on the corner where LeBron's the greatest player ever. And that's not this argument. But even for a person that has the type of information and the opinion you have on LeBron, be honest, how surprised are you, even at year 15, that LeBron is better than he's ever been?
I am surprised at one part of his game this year, the three-point shooting. Because last year he was a bad free throw shooter.
Right.
Last year he was an okay three-point shooter. But the shooting, which is usually what carries a player late in his career, the shooting, especially through the line, had fallen off. But last year, let's keep in mind, last season, year 14, was the first season of his career he ever averaged at least 8 rebounds and 8 assists a game. This is now the second year that that is happening. But I want to give some context. Why are the Cavs the best team in the league? Because they're the best team in the East. Because they have the best player in the league by an enormous margin. The gap between LeBron and whomever is second place, I believe it's Kevin Durant, some people might argue James Harden, is bigger than the gap between that second best player and the 8th best player. I want to show everyone, including my friends at this table, some numbers going on right now. So here is LeBron James this season. 28.6 points, 57.7 from the field, 42.3 from 3, and 8.5 assists per game. That has each of that random or anonymous player X notched, just barely in each category. You would agree? Like just a little more points, a little better field goal percentage, a little better 3-point, and a few more assists. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yes.
All right. Show America who that anonymous player is.
Is it you, Nick?
That anonymous player is Kobe's MVP season, Shaq's MVP season, KD's MVP season, and Derrick Rose's MVP season.
Whoa.
Those 4 players each won 1 MVP. So it takes Kobe's points, Shaq's field goal percentage, Durant's 3-point percentage, Derrick Rose's assists in their 1 MVP years. And that's LeBron has bested it this season.
So we need to find out what happened with the shooting. We need an investigation.
Man, you
he hurt
told
his
us,
elbow.
Cece, what happened with the shooting?
I mean, he said he hurt his elbow. And in rehabbing his elbow, he found something from a technical standpoint in his shot that has made him a better shooter. He just mentioned it in passing. I need my research team, which consists of like a half a person, Dusty when he's not doing that, and Jamila when she's not making graphics and stuff for you. You guys need to stop with these surprises. That was pretty good right there.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You got 4 people on me. Last time you had 1 mysterious person, and then now you got 4.
Is it possible that maybe LeBron even surprised LeBron, not knowing that he would have as much as he had this season, and said to himself, if I'm going to be able to keep par with all the other younger, more athletic guys in the league, up-and-coming guys in the league, I have to figure out a way to keep my edge and my advantage, and that is going to come from shooting this 3-point shot. Is it possible that maybe this is what he took in the offseason as his main objective, is to really
just
hone in?
Thinking about it and having conversations with Maverick, one of LeBron's confidants and best friends for a long, long time, he talked about, when we talked in L.A., about LeBron's conditioning, his mental state. Like, he was in some of the best shape that he's ever been in. Now, we hear this all the time.
In the offseason.
This is the offseason, yes.
Okay.
So, this is all veteran players, they always come back and say, Jenna, you know something, this year I'm stronger, I'm faster.
Yeah.
But a lot of that is just hot air. But with LeBron, through training camp, now he hurt his ankle leading up to that. So leading up to that, he was in phenomenal shape from a physical standpoint and mental. Now, as far as his shooting, that part we didn't know about. And that's been displayed with great conditioning and new chemistry. 7 new faces.
Sure.
To be able to play like this with 7 new faces, him and James Harden, right now, to me, 1 and 2 are playing the most phenomenal basketball. And it needs to be mentioned how good Harden's playing, too, out west.
And listen, Harden had 25 and 4 on 7 shots in the first quarter last night. James has been extraordinary, and his team has been, in my estimation, the best team in the league so far. So I want to give James Harden an enormous amount of credit because he deserves it. One last point on LeBron. So in year 15, he clearly needs individual challenges. When you've been to 7 straight finals, when the East has been the LeBron James Invitational for almost a decade, you need individual things to motivate yourself. Last year, I believe that was, during the regular season, the MVP award. He ended up getting, I think, way unfairly snubbed in it. He didn't even finish in the top 3 of the award, which was the first time in, I think, 7 years he didn't finish in the top 3. It was ridiculous. I think this year it is the MVP award again, because even you, a Michael Jordan guy, said, man, if LeBron wins an MVP in year 15, and then you see that.
That's that Ohio math now. I give him 2 for every championship. I give him 2 for any MVP past year 13.
Right. And then last night, there was the extra motivation of everyone's asking me about Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Now, everyone at this table loves Ben Simmons.
Yes.
I think Ben Simmons is going to be a superstar and is having the best rookie year any player's had since Blake Griffin. But Okay, everyone wants to talk about Ben Simmons. I'll go out and score or assist on 15 of the first 17 and let everyone know what's going on.
The one thing I'm surprised that you missed, which is really going to help LeBron